This is my 2014 Honda NC700X. It's been a good bike. I bought it in 2015. Currently making this video summer 2019. I've got about 22,000 miles on it. I have quite a few more, but last couple of years I've had some health issues. Haven't been able to ride as much. A few years ago I did make a 6,500 mile trip, rode from North Carolina out to northern New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, and Colorado. Hit most of the national parks, rode the good roads. It was a great trip. Did it solo, didn't have a bit of problem with this motorcycle. Did a wonderful job. I've got it pretty well farkled up. Thought I'd walk through that a little bit right now. Currently got, just put on some Shinko 705s. I'm hoping to do a little gravel work in the North Carolina mountains this year. Hadn't been yet. I've run pilot roads in the past. This is the first time I put on a dual sport tire. Have the Madstad shield, which I really like. It has a metal plate under here, which I don't think the newer ones do. And it really great for blocking the wind. It's great in the wintertime. It's got some wings that go here. I don't have on it in the summertime. Have some bark buster hand guards on it. I got those mainly to keep the cold off, because I do like to ride even when it's cold. Got some cheap LED lights. They were on my old Nighthawk. I just brought them over. I want to put them on here. I don't use them for really lighting anything, because I don't ride at night for safety precautions, but I use them just to be seen. Latest addition were these pegs. Got some off-road pegs. The stock pegs are fine, but you know, they're rubber. They get wet and you're trying to stand up off-road. You have to bust your little butt. Got GV crash guards on here. Have the lights mounted to them. I had ordered SW Motec, but they weren't made correctly and didn't fit, so I had to send them back, and I got the GVs. I don't even remember what brand these highway pegs are, but you got to have highway pegs. It's just you got to change position on a long trip. I've got quite the cockpit, I'm told. I do have Oxford heated grips, which I really like. I put this little crossbar on it and mounted this giant loop bag. I like it because I can keep little odds and ends in here, earplugs. Around the house I got my garage door opener, just medicines and stuff. Nice thing about this Madstad shield is I mounted stuff to it. Like here I put on a couple of ball mounts, and that allows me to put a ram mount X grip for my phone, and also my Zumo mount is on also for my GPS. I made this little bracket for a voltmeter. I got so many gadgets on here, I like to keep track of my volts, so I put that on. This is, for those of you who don't understand, this is a DCT version, so you got a handbrake here, parking brake. That's what that is. And then this is just a little cheap light switch to control those LED lights. This is the famed frunk, and I did one of the early mods here where you take a key and epoxy it into a knob, and that way you don't have to pull your ignition key out all the time. If I'm somewhere I'm worried, I just take it out, stick it in my pocket, and go on in. Usually what I'll do is I'll drop my GPS in the frunk and take the key with me, and this is the frunk. It's pretty full. I keep my tool kit in there. I've got a air pump in there. A few other odds and ends, my paperwork. This little door right here goes to the battery, which is back in here. My seat, I did a recover job. I got a Seat Concepts low cover. I'm very short, so this thing is tall, so I needed all the extra I could get. There's a lot of seat mods out there for this bike. The problem is the seat slopes forward. The Seat Concepts pretty much took out the slope when I put that on. This is a Dale's rack. This is made by a dealer out on the West Coast. It's wonderful. I took the rear seat off, and it's got a little gas fill. Somebody said paint that black, and it'll clean it up. The knob here turn it one way, it unlocks the rear seat. If you do it the other way, it unlocks that. Now normally, if you had the regular seat on here, you would have to take anything that's sitting here off to open up the seat and get to the gas can. But with this Dale's rack, with that opening in it, I can get to the gas cap without having to take off a duffel bag. Something I did when I bought the bike, I ordered as part of the deal. I went ahead and got the GV racks for this and these GV boxes. I personally, these are the Trekker boxes. I think they actually have better boxes now than these. But one nice thing about these boxes, I can set them up where they open this way. I think. Where they will open this way. And try again. And that's nice on the road. You can stuff down in there. And or you can have them clamshell. These lock in place, and you can have a clamshell opening, which is fine. Usually when I'm on the road, I have them work like this, and so I get stuff in and out without dropping everything. This bag will also fit here. Now I bought these are 33 liters. I bought a 42 liter to go here, but I found that's just too big a bag. So I don't carry that anymore. I just use my duffel. Trying to think of what else I've added to this thing. A big change I made was suspension. I did this actually after the trip. I added the Cogent valves and springs for my weight. I might be short-legged, but I'm also fat. And that was a great addition. It really smoothed out the front. The suspension on these aren't bad, but you hit square edge stuff, it's what knocks your teeth out. I saw these somewhere. These are little Triumph guards. I just liked them, so I put them on there. I added it's a SW Motec skid plate, and from a horn, I put an air horn on there, just for a little noise. That's always a standard mod. I always do. I added something you can't see in the bottom of my frunk. I put a power distribution box, and it's on a relay, so anything wired into that, I turn the key off, it cuts that stuff off. So I have most of my accessories wired into that box so that I don't have to worry about them being on and draining the battery. I learned a couple bikes back that I had a USB port, and it would just drain the battery after it sat for a while. So I got everything on a switch now that I possibly can. These are, I forget where I found these, but these are just little grips. They're nice right here, especially when you're standing. You can grip where you need. This is an outlet that I added for my heated jacket. And so I can just put that in right there, plug in, and that way I have a tendency to forget to unplug it when I get off the bike. So when I get off, it just pulls it straight out of there and do the least amount of damage to the bike. I also did a Cogent shock on the rear. You really can't see it back there very well in springs. When I added the fork springs and valves, I went ahead and got a shock. Wasn't cheap, but I think it's worth it. I also added the center stand. That was one of my early mods. Pain in the butt to put on, but I think every bike should have a center stand. I'm very disappointed that they don't come with them anymore. So I think that's most of my modifications. She's been a good bike. The reason I bought it is I had an old Nighthawk and a DR650. I just felt like this could do pretty much everything I wanted to do. Oh, by the way, this sticker, I've not been on Ruta 40. My daughter brought that back from when she went to Argentina. And this is somebody in my forum did these. I just love it. Genuine Swiss Army bike. This bike didn't do anything particularly well. It does everything fine. These are some of the states I visited while I've been riding. But I bought this bike. My thought when I picked it out and I decided, and I looked at a lot of bikes, I thought about a V-Strong for a while, was that I need a bike for how I actually ride, not how I think I'm going to ride. I think a lot of times we get big dreams and think we're going to do all these things. So that's my NC700.